Okay, guys, so we are now going to start our PPT, and the subject is the cyber insurance. And if some of your friends are still going to join, then they are also most welcome. And I welcome all of you for making time and joining this presentation. So the agenda for today is that we will discuss that what cyber insurance is, and then we will look at the example. We will discuss a survey done on the cyber insurance. Then we will go to the market overview, and we will discuss that what are the top drivers who are driving the cyber sales in the market. Then we will talk about that typically what is the premium and you have to pay for getting the coverage for cyber insurance. Then we will move forward and discuss the complex procedure of underwriting any cyber insurance policy. And further, we will talk about cyber insurance. So what you should consider when you are going to select any cyber insurance policy, what you should understand before choosing any cyber insurance policy, what you should discuss with the service providers. Then we will talk about the obstacles faced by the cyber insurance service providers, means insurance companies, as well as the obstacles faced by the buyers, means the consumers of these cyber insurance policies. Then we will also talk about that when cyber insurance service providers are going to underwrite any cyber insurance policy for any customer, what is the thing they look for and what are the points they give value to. And at the last, we will end of our presentation with the key message of this whole presentation and discussion on cyber insurance topic. And we will introduce our Ingram Micro Cybersecurity business unit. We will talk just 2 minutes about that what all we do and what all we offer, how we can help organizations to deal with the cybersecurity. Okay. So let us talk about our first section, which is what is cyber insurance. So basically, cyber insurance is an insurance product like any insurance product, but it is different in nature. That it's related to the cyber crimes, and it's not related to the traditional insurance. And so it is helping businesses from internet-based risk, and more generally from the risk relating to IT infrastructure and the activities done within the IT infrastructure domain. Cyber insurance is also known as cyber risk insurance, and it is also known as cyber liability insurance coverage, CLIC, and some other related names are also there in the market, which link to the cyber insurance only. So we will go to our next section, which is here we are going to discuss a survey on the cyber insurance topic. So this survey was done by organization ILTA, which is International Legal Technology Association, in the year of 2017. Basically, ILTA is a non-profit organization, and it has a lot of members from law firms, the corporate law departments, and the judiciary guys and the lawyers. So basically, they are the experts law guys, and looking into the domain of this IT infrastructure, and trying to understand that how the cyber insurance is required in this domain. So as per this survey, 66.67% respondents said that they don't have any cyber insurance policy at all. And the reason, 60% guys said the reason of not having the cyber insurance policy is that they do not understand that what limits and deductibles were appropriate for them. So basically, what does it mean? That they are not able to understand that what level of risk their organizations may have, be the value of this risk, and so how much cost they should consider for taking coverage of what amount for this cyber insurance. Then 80% guys said that they are actively working with the cyber insurance brokers to understand these things and to move forward and take the cyber insurance policies to safeguard their organizations against any cyber crime. Then from this survey, we also observed that there are 60% respondents said that they have formal incident response plan in their organizations. 46.67% guys said that they have a security breach response team in their organizations, and 60% guys out of this said that they have security breach response team leader as well. So they are looking more seriously on this. Just a moment, I see that there is some message in the chat. Okay, Shannon. Okay. Yeah. So so I was talking that 60% out of them said that they are also having a leader of this security breach response team, which means that that organization is more mature in terms of understanding the cyber crime and understanding the need of having a good set of people and a leader to deal with it. Our next section is we will discuss the market overview, and we will also discuss that what are the top drivers which are helping this cyber sales. So if you look at this chart, it's based on a survey done by Deloitte. You can see the source at the bottom. So as per this survey, the key drivers who are driving the cyber sales in the market, as per them, 64.9% sales is driven due to the news of cyber related losses experienced by others, and 52.4% cyber sale is getting driven due to the requirement told by some third party, like your customer. So your customer might, so for example, your customer might ask some level of security to have in your organization, and because of that you need to have that level of security, and then you go for buying cyber related solutions. Then 49.3% is due to experiencing as cyber related losses. Then 46.7% is due to the increased education, that people are getting educated on this topic, and they are understanding that what kind of risk it might have on their organization, on their business, and even on their existence. So due to that also cyber sales market is growing. Then the another parameter is that the board directors and the senior management guys are also aware that they need to be more secure, and so demand is coming from the top management itself that make my organization more secure. So that is also driving the cyber sales. And the other parameters are the cost, breadth of coverage, good salespeople, risk mitigation services, and some 1.8% by the some other points. Okay. If we look at the market overview and how it is growing, so in the year of 2016, this annual gross written premium was estimated around $2.75 billion, and in the year of 2017, the estimation reached to $3.25 billion. So the experts are forecasting that year on year it is going to grow at the rate of 20% to 30%, which is quite high. And you see that the cyber insurance market is broadening day by day, so you can see that significant capacity is available there. One of the reason of this kind of growth in the cyber insurance market is also due to the small and medium firms which have started understanding, getting aware that they have possible legal liabilities, so they need to take care of those things. So our next section is cyber insurance coverage and premium. In this section, we will discuss that what kind of premium you may need to pay to get what level of coverage from the cyber insurance service provider. So, and we will also discuss that what is covered in the cyber insurance policies, what is not covered, what it can offer you, what it cannot offer you. Okay, so the cyber insurance is not like our traditional insurance policies. It is because our traditional insurance policies were not designed to take care of our cyber related crimes or cyber related risk. That is one thing. And these cyber insurance policies are designed to take care of our new cyber crimes, which may include like hacking, theft of data, the extortion, denial of service, and other cyber related crimes. On this slide, you can see we are trying to compare the traditional insurance with the cyber insurance. So you see that traditional insurance like general liability or property insurance or even crime insurance and E&O / D&O insurance. These insurance policies were covering some of they are also having possibility to cover some of the risk areas of cybercrime, like but if you look at the cyber insurance policies, here you will get a comprehensive coverage against all of these risk areas. And what are these risk areas? If you look at them, so these are basically related to network security, they are related to media liability, they are related to breach of privacy, they are related to virus transmission, they are related to damage of data, they are related to regulatory investigations, they are related to extortions, they are related to attacks from viruses or hackers or denial of service, or even if you face business interruption laws in that area also, cyber insurance can provide you the comprehensive coverage. But the traditional insurances can provide you some part of it, but that also in a partial manner, not in a comprehensive way. So our next slide is about what cyber insurance cannot provide. So when we are talking about that cyber insurance can offer you a lot of services, a lot of security, a lot of ways to deal with the cyber crimes, we need to also understand that what it doesn't provide. So the first point is that it doesn't provide any protection from any reputation loss in the market. So if my organization is having any reputational loss, then there is no protection from the cyber insurance policies for this. Second point is that cyber insurance policies are going to provide you coverage with respect to the premium you pay for some amount of money, but they are not going to remove the risk at all. So risk is there. You have to deal with the risk. I mean, whatever the security solutions you need, they have to be there. They have to take good care of your organization, and then on top of it, you should have the cyber insurance policies if any unfortunate event happens, so that you can get some money, but it is not going to remove the risk. Then the third point is that it is not going, as I explained, that whatever the security solutions you need for your organization, you have to have it. You have to have very robust security solution. You have to have all kind of IT security solutions, whether it is perimeter security, or it is solutions like identity and access management, or it is solution like data loss prevention management, or antivirus solutions. So you have to have all of this, because cyber insurance policy is not going to replace your information security program or framework. Okay. So here is example of typical cyber insurance uh, policy. So you can see that if you look at the columns, so columns are representing different size of type of companies. So there are small scale companies, there are mid size companies, and there are large companies. Just a moment, I see somebody sending some chat message. Just a moment, let me check. Yeah, okay. So, Muhammad, I see your question, and uh, yeah, so ransomware is also, you can get, that is also included in cyber insurance coverage. And your question is that how does the insurance company evaluate your current level of security before issuing a policy, premium, etc. So that I will be discussing in the coming slides. So just be with me. I will talk about it. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So here we are talking about different size of organization. So if it is a small company, so typically cyber insurance service providers will offer you coverage of $1 to $5 million, and if it is a mid-sized company, then they offer you $5 to $20 million coverage, and if it is a large company, they might offer you 15 to 25 or more $1 million coverage. And what is the premium you will need to pay is that in case of small companies, you will need to pay premium of 7,000 to 15,000 dollar for every million in coverage. Okay. For the mid-sized companies, you will need to pay 10,000 to $30,000 per million in coverage. Okay. And for large organizations, they will charge you the premium of 30,000 to 50,000 per million in coverage. So you can typically understand that how much they are charging you per million of coverage you are taking. Okay. Just to talk about the example, consider there is an organization who has taken a $30 million coverage, and unfortunately a data breach resulted in the company paying over $145 million to, maybe this payment they might need to do maybe to their consumers, or maybe they some authorities putting some kind of penalty. So in this scenario, you can see that 145 minus 30 is equal to $115 million they have to pay from their pocket. So basically here in this example, what I'm trying to say is that they have not properly understood that what level of risk they might face. So that's why they have taken the coverage of very less amount. Our next section is about, here we will discuss the procedure of underwriting cyber insurance policies. And Muhammad, here when I will talk about this, you will get answer to your question. And if you don't get it, please message me again. Yeah, so we will talk about that, how the cyber insurance companies offer you these policies and what is the process of doing it. It's not as simple as in case of the traditional insurance policies. Here in this case, in case of cyber insurance, it's a bit complex. So let's talk about it. So basically, it's a 5-step process. Step 1 is initiate. Step 2 is access, assess. Step 3 is review. Step 4 is report, and step 5 is underwrite. So the first step is initiate. So what happens here is that service insurance, the cyber insurance company will send a form to the customer who wants the cyber insurance policy to do the self-assessment and fill this form. So, and this form is all about that, the questions would be all about regarding the IT infrastructure of the consumer organization or that customer organization, and the IT security level in that organization. So once they get this data from the customer, the cyber insurance company can understand that what level of what all they have, how much they have on premise, how much they have in cloud, or somebody else is managing their infrastructure. And they can also understand that how, what is the level of IT security they are having in their organization. So what does it mean? That they can understand, what they are trying to understand here is that how risk prone this organization is. In the second step is the assessment. So here they will after getting this information from the customer, the assessment exercise will start from the cyber insurance company. They might use their small to mid-sized deals, they might use their own experts to do this assessment of the customer organization, that what their IT infrastructure is, what the IT security solutions and the level of security they are maintaining, and how risk prone their environment is. Or in the case of if the coverage is quite high, and so premium is also going to be quite high. So for the where there is a high value premium, high value cyber insurance policies are going to be proposed to customers. So in those scenarios, these cyber insurance companies also take help of third-party risk assessment organizations who are more expert into that domain, or who are looking into this exercise only. So they use the third-party services as well. And the interesting part is that the cost of those third-party third-party assessment will be borne by the customer who is going to buy the cyber insurance policy here. Okay, so the third stage is all about that. Then in the fourth stage, they report from the insurance company will be so insurance company will prepare this entire report of whatever the assessment has been done by cyber insurance company or their third party partner who has done this risk assessment, and that all will become part of this report. And finally, they are going to underwrite the policy document for the customer who was interested to take the cyber insurance policy here. And on the basis of all these assessment, they are finally going to define the coverage and exclusions, inclusions, and the value, this premium, that how much premium this customer needs to pay for the particular coverage. So, Mohammed, I hope you got your answer here, that this assessment is done very rigorously, and after this entire assessment, only these cyber insurance service provider calculate this coverage and required premium for that. Our next section is that before taking the cyber insurance policy, what we should consider. So, from the consumer or the customer point of view, customer need to understand that what level of risk exposure is there in their organization, so that they can understand that how much risk prone they are, what might be the cost of those risks if some unfortunate event happens, so that accordingly they can understand that what level of coverage I need, and then they can look at that what are the options are available in the market from the cyber insurance companies. Second point to consider here is that you need to understand that these policies are complexities. So you have to understand that what are the terms and conditions there, what are the things which are part of the policy, what are the things which are exclusions, means which are not part of the policy. So you have to understand those details to a really deep level, so that you are aware of that your policy, what you are going to get when you are when there is a need or any unfortunate event, and what are the documents you will need to present to the cyber insurance company, and so all those complexities you have to understand. Third point is that you should try to balance the premium and implementing control cost. What does it mean is that when you take a cyber insurance policy, you are going to pay a premium to get a coverage of some amount, and at the same time you should also look at your organization, that what level of security solutions you are having, what level of security you are maintaining, IT security I'm talking about, you are maintaining. So if you can spend some dollars and you can make your organization more robust in terms of and make it more less prone to the cyber attacks, so you should try to understand that what all I should how much I should also work on buying cyber security solutions to make my organization more security robust, and then you should see if you can go for less coverage and pay less premium. The last point is that you need to understand the claim process. So I discussed that while discussing the complexities. So basically, you need to when you are buying a policy at the moment, at that time itself, you should be aware that what is the exact process of claiming your money, claiming your coverage when there is an unfortunate event of cyber attack happens and you lose. So there would be a lot of documents which will be required to present to the cyber insurance company as an evidence. So you need to understand all those evidences, and you should also try to understand whether you will be able to provide it or not. So there might be a scenario that there is something which you cannot provide at all. So you should understand these aspects as well, and get clarity on this before buying the policy. Our next section is obstacles in this cyber insurance market. So here we will discuss the perspective of the cyber insurance service provider and the cyber insurance consumers. Both the perspectives we will discuss here, at what is the obstacles they are facing. So if we talk about the cyber insurance companies, So basically, they have. So the first point is about that they don't have the enough data to understand the whole the security level, IT security level of any organization. That is one thing. Second, to understand that what kind of or what level of actually security attack this organization might face, because it's a new in the industry, and it's still evolving. So as a so yeah, as the time passes and year on year, there is a lot of data, a lot of information available. Then cyber insurance companies will have more clear picture of these things, and they will be able to anticipate those losses more accurately in coming future. So the first obstacle they face is that they don't get the accurate data, the proper data, or the sufficient data for anticipating the losses this organization might face, and accordingly to calculate this coverage and the premium. Second point is that, as I said, that with the time, this they will come to understand that what they will have a lot of data to analyze. And second point is that cyber attacks are also evolving with the time. So it's not like there are five kind of cyber attacks, and only those are happening, and there are a lot of information about it, and information, and the knowledge is not changing. So everything is changing. So the cyber, this is also one of the obstacles for cyber insurance companies. If you look at the obstacles from consumers perspective, it's quite easy to understand that these buyers are not able to understand that what cyber risk they might get, or what are the insurance options are available in the market. It's not so easy to understand. Then second point is that cyber risk is spread over a wide range of coverages. So there are so many offerings from the cyber insurance companies, and they are having different options to offer different level of coverage, different kind of coverage, different exclusions. So those are also not easy to understand for a simple buyer. The third point is that this cyber policies lack standardization. So that is the reason that there are so many things in different forms, and that it's not easy to understand. So this section, we will talk about that what do underwriters value. So here I'm going to talk that when an insurance company is trying to write your policy document, and the what underwriters give value to. I mean, what when they assess your organization, what they what what are the parameters they consider to understand the level of maturity or level of security of your organization. So if you look at this chart, you can see that 25% is weightage is given to the enterprise risk management philosophy. Means if any organization is having within their organization, if they are having risk management philosophy, so they are considered very mature organizations. So 25% weightage goes to this. So underwriters value this parameter a lot. And 23% is about nature of records or data stored. Means how well you are recording your data, how well you are storing your data, and if you are having the entire data or not, how often you lose data, how you are losing these data. Then third point is the 16% is about security test and audits. So they also see that When they are assessing your organization, they see that how frequently you do the security tests and security audits. So that also shows that if you are doing it regularly, so there are reports, and uh, you are if you are doing it regularly, you will be definitely securing your organizations and taking steps to secure your organization after looking at the vulnerable areas. Then 15% value is on this updated network security firewalls. So when they find that your security devices, your network devices are having the updated patch, updated operating systems, then they value it as well. Then there are other parameters which they value is like whether you are having in-house or outsourced IT services. They also look at these things. Then they look at volume of records or data stored, how much record and data you are having. Then they look at the compliance you are having with respect to the regulations and security standards. Then they look at the encryptions you are having in your organization, and then there are some other aspect they look at. Okay, so I'm almost done with my presentation on this cyber insurance subject. And so basically, I discussed different aspect of it. And so we talked about from the perspective of consumers, we talked about from the perspective of insurance companies, we talked about the kind of cyber attacks, and we talked about some survey data done by research organizations. So what I'm trying to say in the overall presentation, I have summarized here that there are three key messages. The first message is that cyber insurance is not a replacement of robust information security program. So it means that you have to have your uh, information security programs alive in your organization. You have to keep securing your IT infrastructure. And on top of that, you have to consider this cyber insurance policy. But it's not a replacement of your IT security solutions, programs, projects. Second message is that cyber insurance will never remove cyber risk completely. So cyber insurance policies are not going to remove the risk. Risk is still there. You have to secure your IT environment with IT security solutions and processes using the tools, people, and processes. So on top of that, you take the cyber insurance to cover yourself with respect to some unfortunate event. But this policy will never remove the risk. Then third point is that organizations should develop mature information security programs and understand the total cost of cyber risk before considering any cyber insurance policy. So before you go to the cyber insurance companies and you talk about taking cyber insurance policies and discussing their various options, before that you should have a mature IT security program in your organization, and you should understand the total cost of cyber risk your organization may have. Once you understand this, then you should move forward and then think about this cyber insurance offers coming from the cyber insurance companies. This is one slide about our cyber security business division within Ingram Micro Company. So what basically we do, we offer services, we offer trainings, and we offer a lot of vendor solutions. In the services, we offer technical assessment services, we offer consulting services, we offer managed security services. In the trainings, we have different kind of trainings. We can train end users. We have training specifically for cyber security teams of your organizations, and we also have trainings on the for the privacy team, like with this related to this GDPR regulations. Then we do a lot of marketing activities in terms of webinars, and there are YouTube channels where you can see our recorded webinars if you couldn't attend earlier. Then there are articles and newsletters published on our websites where you can go and look into this. You can connect to us on this phone number which is written here. You can connect us over Twitter as shown here, and in the market we keep doing a lot of activities to engage with our to more engage with our partners, and engage with our users, our customers also, along with our partners. So a lot of events we keep doing in different regions. Then this is our cybersecurity central team. Mr. Mark Assis is our cybersecurity director. Under him, Ms. Ariana is a senior consultant, and all of all the technical consultants and the pre-sales guys, we all report to Ariana, and Ariana reports to Mark Assis. Then we have dedicated business support guy, Mr. Shanem, and marketing specialist Jessica, who looks after into these marketing activities. From the product perspective, we have a product team which also reports to Mr. Mark. So we have different product managers who take care of different products like Microfocus or Casper Sky or Symantec. So all these vendors who provide the cybersecurity solutions. So basically, this cybersecurity business unit is in Ingram Micro focuses on the cybersecurity subject only. Otherwise, Ingram Micro takes care of. I mean, you already know that it's a distributor of a lot of product vendors. So from my side, I'm done with the presentation, and I'd be happy if you have any questions. So if I can answer, or if you feel asking later on, you can write to us. Hope it was informative for you, and you could gather some information from my presentation. I thank you all for joining me on this presentation. Thank you, guys.